Demi Lovato had an overdose and has since released a statement on addiction and recovery. Let's discuss it now.
This morning, Demi Lovato speaking out, sharing her latest struggle with addiction. The singer posting on Instagram, "What I've learned is that this illness is not something that disappears or fades with time. It is something I must continue to overcome and have not done yet."
I think people are baffled that success does not ameliorate addiction. You know, well, why is it not working? Why is success not working? Why is approval not working? In the case of Demi Lovato, why is beauty, accolade, why are these things not working? And I suppose it's because addiction is not addressed by anything other than, I would argue, and in fact 12-step programs offer a spiritual experience.
Lovato now writing, "I want to thank God for keeping me alive and well. To my fans, I am forever grateful for all of your love and support throughout this past week and beyond."
I suppose it's interesting that she's thanking God. I know in the context of American stars, the gratitude to God can seem like an unpleasant cliche, but in the case of a recovering addict, a connection with a higher power is an important thing. It's curious too that Demi Lovato will have to deal with addiction and necessarily being in the public eye, because I think recovery, early recovery in particular, is a very, very private thing, and I was lucky that I wasn't famous when I first got clean, so I was able to be a little brittle eggshell man baby birding about without anyone really caring what I was doing.
And rapper Macklemore telling Lovato, "I've relapsed many times. The recovery community has always welcomed me back with infinite love and support. Always here for you."
Yes, the recovery community, that is perhaps the most positive aspect of addiction, is that it gives us a way of coming together around a common wound, recognizing that it is our vulnerability that is most important. It is our flaws that we can commune around, not with grandeur and posturing, boldness and success, but with frailty, fragility, with our needs, with our apparent weakness. They say from the wound comes the salve, from the acknowledgement that we are fragile, mortal, somehow delicately doomed. From the acknowledgement of this, we can achieve a new power, or at least access a new power.
The singer giving the world an inside look at her battles with drug addiction and bipolar disorder, telling Hoda this at an event in 2016.
It's good, isn't it, really, is to see public figures talking about mental illness and addiction, isn't it? I mean, I suppose you could say, well, what do they know? They're famous and rich and stuff. But I think it creates an awareness of the emptiness of fame and fortune. Probably better to have bipolar illness and addiction and be rich rather than, you know, addiction and bipolar illness and be poor. But to know that it has no regard for those financial parameters is somewhat comforting, and in a way to me suggests that that's where our attention ought to be going. Communities that are built around people supporting one another.
There are things that I do every single day in order to not let it become a struggle.
Oh, isn't it amazing? I mean, here I am commenting on it. There she is being commented on by, you know, the Today Show, and in the background, Pfizer, you know, aren't they a big pharma company? Taco Bell, fast food, Nike. Isn't it interesting the way that sort of media and big business, and even me as a sort of a media commentator, leech around the issue, each with our perspectives, each with our own ends. Curious, paradoxical times we are living in, but my sense, my experience is that those of us that are approaching the world through the lens of addiction or through mental health issues and looking to recover and find new perspectives and new ways of living are a vanguard and will be among the first to experience the new way.
Lovato now focusing on the future, writing, "I now need time to heal and focus on my sobriety and road to recovery. The love you have all shown me will never be forgotten, and I look forward to the day where I can say I came out on the other side. I will keep fighting.
Well, it's certainly true that it will have to become the primary focus for any addict in recovery, particularly early recovery. But I would say, as someone with 15 and a half years, one day at a time, that it still has to be the most important thing in my life, that I still have to be part of 12-step support groups, that I still have to speak to people with more time than me and people with less time than me, and pray and medicate. It has to become the, what do I want to say, rubric of my lifestyle, the regulator, the rules of the way that I live. And for anyone that is an addict, you have to surrender to that, the same way that your addiction is the dominant and governing idea of your life, finding ways and means to get and use drugs. In recovery, finding ways and means to get closer to your higher power, to get closer to recovery, to let the old self die. I say a lot to other addicts, the person that you used to be has to die. The drug addict has to die. It's whether or not you survive the drug addict and go on to live a life beyond that incarnation. That's the real question, and hopefully Demi Lovato will. Thank you.